for once, actually. So there's a lot of new faces. There's also some people I remember from previous hackathons. Is there anyone here who hasn't yet been to a hackathon ever? Oh wow! Okay, if the people in the front looked around, most of the hands actually went up. Very, very interesting. Anyone know what to expect if you haven't been yet? Okay, I'll talk you through a few things. So, we're obviously running in a hackathon about HTML5 and cloud specifically. Now, why we're doing that, we work a lot with startups as tech meetups, and one thing that we saw is HTML5 is becoming increasingly important. Now, a startup's budgets usually don't cover things like training courses. So this means everybody knows that they should be using this technology, that their clients will want it at some point, but until that work comes along, very often you're not going to learn the skills. So that's one reason we decided to put this together. So tomorrow between 10:30 and 12, there's a lecture theatre that you might remember passing on your very, very long journey here. We'll be having our workshops there. And I'll talk you through the agenda. But let me talk you through the agenda of the weekend with these very flashbacks. So we like to think that magic happens at some of these hackathons, and the way we try and do that is get people together with different skills. So you're not just going to be working with only a developer, or you're not just going to be working with 2 marketing people. We try and form teams where they're capable of actually bringing the product to market. So tonight, what's going to happen is people are going to get up here, they're going to present their ideas, people in the audience will think about whether they like the idea that's proposed and potentially join a team with that person. And then step 2 is obviously to bring it to life. So you have some time tonight, then obviously the whole day tomorrow, plus the workshops, and then Sunday is the last stretch. And then the ideas get presented to the judges on Sunday, and those judges have a look at what you've done, and they come up with we've got some criteria set for them to actually think about how successful the app should be. Based on the past hackathons, they've actually been quite good at predicting what would actually go to market, so it's an interesting indicator. Okay, so tonight, what have we got? Obviously, you're all here, you found it, well done, very good. After me, we're going to have Rui Barocca presenting. So I don't know if a lot of you know Rui. He's an excellent UX designer. He's also a hackathon veteran. So he's going to explain to you a little bit about how he feels you should try and spend your weekend, and especially what you should try and put in place tonight to actually make good use of the time later on. Okay, then we're going to have the app idea presentations, and then the teams form. Now, how do the teams form? You guys should think of this as an open market. Somebody comes here with an idea, you like the look of it, maybe your objective tonight is just to learn. Join their team, learn, maybe you work with them again, maybe you won't. Maybe you like their idea and they say, I'm actually from a larger organisation, we have funding for this project, if you like that idea, join the team, potentially it might even recruit you. So these are the kind of things that happen here. Ourselves, we're just a platform to enable you to do that. We don't keep any percentage of any app that's actually built here. It's all yours, it's all on your terms. The only thing we ask you to actually put your name on is some papers so we know how many people are here, and so we can write up about what work has actually happened afterwards. But we keep no business here. And then what will happen is if you filter through to the other room, we have tables set up for you to start work on, and we'll close down around 9 o'clock this evening. And then tomorrow, you can come in anytime from 9, and from 10:30 we have some workshops for you. So I'll obviously go through the hackathon itself. If you had any questions come up overnight, you can ask them there in the open forum because you're probably not the only one with that question. And then we have Alan Thompson, who was actually part of the last hackathon we ran. he's lately created a really, really neat app in HTML5, so he's actually going to talk through it as a case study, what he did, how he made it particularly nice, how it really works very nicely across a number of platforms. Then, John Madru, who's a trainer in a lot of technical subjects, is going to come in, talk about HTML5, talk about the basics of actually moving over to HTML5, what has changed, and what you can now do. Okay, and then we have one of our sponsors. Pusher is going to present how to use the Pusher app for maximum effect, and they're actually going to do that by video, so we're going to show some things here, but also what you'll notice, we've got the sponsors' information for what APIs and SDKs you have support for over this weekend. Oh, sorry, go too fast. Then, sorry guys, we have Graham actually presenting tomorrow. So T-Bun is actually off having a baby this weekend. So Graham stepped in, so thank you very much Graham, he's just at the back. And he will be talking about how to use the Adphonic SDK. So this is actually something very interesting, and I think with the track record that Adphonic has, it's actually a very reliable way to start monetizing your apps before you perhaps get traction with customers who subscribe. Okay, then I'll just do a quick wrap up and actually let you know a few best practices on presenting to the judges. And then we'll have some final questions, back to the hackathon, and some lunch on the Saturday afternoon. And you guys continue working. We'll do some video checkpoints with you about 6 o'clock, and that lets you prepare for the presentations on Sunday nights anyway. Okay, 9 PM again, we close for the evening. And then very quickly, on Sunday, it's a lion, you get to come in at 10, or whenever you want actually. It's pretty free flow on Sunday, and from about 2 or 3 PM, we'll help you test out the equipment that you'll actually be presenting on, just to make sure that you're happy with everything. And at 4 PM, your prototypes get presented here. The judging will happen at 5 or earlier. Everybody has 5 minutes to present, by the way, in that last pitch. And then, depending on how long it takes to decide, you know, we might take an hour, we might take less, but we'll probably go to the pub about 6. Okay, and just to talk through the APIs and the SDKs that you have access to and support in actually learning how to use this weekend, have many of you heard of Pusher? Yeah? Okay. So basically, if I just read this, Pusher as a hosted service allows developers to quickly and easily add real-time functionality to their web and mobile applications. So essentially, you're driving new data, live content, info about other users' actions, and there's no need to refresh. So you're building apps that are real-time, they're interactive, and they're engaging. So what these guys are offering to everybody is a subscription to their Bootstrap plan. So you can try that out. There will be video demos happening tomorrow, and they'll stay online for you to see them throughout the weekend anyway. And there's the code, and the code is actually dotted all around the hackathon area for you to log in there. Okay, as I mentioned, we have Adphonic as well. So Graham, do you want to come and let everybody know what you guys are here to do? You've got a few people dropping in to support people as well.
Hello everyone, I'm Graham. This is my first hackathon. Adphonic is a global mobile advertising network. We have offices in London, which is our head office, as well as Paris, Munich, Madrid, New York, San Francisco and Singapore. Hope I've missed any out because we keep adding to them so quickly. We're seeing in excess of 35 billion ad requests a month, which is a hell of a lot of traffic. We have over 10,000 publishers on our books at the moment, and we do about 4,000 advertising campaigns every single month. We'll be here tomorrow giving a presentation on how to integrate with our SDKs, both Android and iOS, but we have JTOR, Me, ASP, JSP, ASP, JavaScript, or also direct API integration. You can ask me any questions that you have then. So come along tomorrow to the presentation, you might get a free t-shirt out of it. We'll also be offering a prize of $250 for advertising spend on the Advonic platform. So if you're up Call Out this weekend, you can advertise it for free for the value of $250. We'll be around all weekend, so if you have any questions, pull us aside. We can approve your app in real time, so you don't have to wait for publisher approval. Have fun, enjoy the weekend. I'm around if you have any questions. Cheers.
Good. And then, actually just today we had a new API join us. So have any of you heard of File Picker at all? No? I must admit I have not heard of File Picker until literally a few days ago. This is a Y Combinator company. So obviously what you can see they're doing is obviously integrating with things like Dropbox, like Box, Google Drive, things that everybody uses, and they're saving you development time. So this is just an absolutely perfect thing for them to obviously get involved with. And now what these guys are doing is offering a special prize, and I'll go through that in a moment. But again, some sample apps that you can have a look at. So the documentation is here, all dotted around the area, and you've got a free plan to sign up to. Just give it a try. Cool. And the mentors actually joining us this weekend. So tomorrow, John, who's giving the workshop on HTML5, he will stay around. If you actually need help with HTML5, just getting used to the basics, everything that's new, he is here to help you. Rui's going to drop in just after lunch, I believe, when you've come out of the workshops, thought about things, can help you on the design side. We have Shiva. Shiva's actually from Virtu, and he is very, very experienced in the product side of things in the mobile world. So he'll be here as well, and you can talk to him tonight too. And I believe Graham's also going to be staying around, and you have your CMO popping in as well. Is that right? Good, good. So just some last minute changes to make you aware of. So I'll put this actually in an email tonight as well. Okay, on Sunday, we have Sean Kane popping in from Springboard Mobile. He's one of the founders there. And Wes Biggs, the CTO of Advonic, is also going to be coming in. So if you need more help there, that's also there too. Okay, and just very, very quickly, to let you know, in terms of the judging criteria, there's 5 things the judges are going to look for from your apps this weekend. So it's the creative use of technology. So it's really good to actually try and use one of the APIs that you're getting access to, try and use the Advonic SDK. You know, this is a way to obviously monetize the business. Think about how you might do that creatively with the best keywords. Number 2, the user experience and the stickiness of the app, essentially. Are you actually going to keep people coming back, or is it just going to end up in an app graveyard, I assume, which you obviously don't want? Number 3, quality of the prototype you have built. So that differs a little bit from number 1 in terms of this actually being your execution over the weekend. Number 4, the market potential. So do have a look at the numbers. You know, if you're building an app for farmers, you might want to check how many farmers there are out there. And the viability of your business model. So very important, and there's a few mentors who can help you with that. Okay, and here's a prize bundle for the winning team. So Pusher will be offering you their startup plan. That's worth $150. Now, Advonic also mentions that they're putting in $250 of campaign credits, so you can start actually pushing out your app and getting it seen by people. Also, on the other side, helping you launch it on the business side, we obviously, as Tech Meetups, are a big group. We've teamed up with Jeffries Henry. They will basically form your company for free and give you some advice on how you would actually potentially make that app in the cheapest way possible. Then Kingsley Napley, they'll take you out to lunch and they'll give you some legal advice. So are you stepping on anyone's toes? Can you actually patent it? Can you actually, you know, save any IP there? And then Tech Meetups is actually starting something called the Guru Program. So it's similar to an accelerator scheme, not quite as intense and not somewhere where you have to give up any equity. So the winning team will get 3 tickets per team member, and together that's worth up to £1,250. And then I mentioned a special prize if you're using the File Picker API. You would get 6-month subscription to their Pro plan, which is worth $300 at the moment, but they're a new company, so it's probably worth a lot more. They are pretty big on Hacker News. They're based over in San Francisco, so they'll help you publicize your app if you launch it. They'll publicize your project and you. And if you ever find yourself in San Francisco, their founding team will take you out for some drinks. Now, I don't know how many, I don't know how long that lasts, I don't know how crazy it gets, but that's there for you. Okay. And the very last thing I'd like to say is many, many thanks to our sponsors. So there's a lot of work that goes into putting one of these events together without actually having the backing of some of these tech companies. One, it's not as exciting because you wouldn't have the technology to try out. And 2, it just makes the cost of actually attending one of these things really very low. So guys at Hackathon, thank you very, very much for supporting it. So Pusher, the guys won't be here at the weekends, but we've got connections with them. File Picker, obviously, they're in San Francisco, but you can actually Skype them tonight if you have any questions, and then you can talk to them over email if you need to. And Springboard Mobile, they're actually launching a mobile accelerator, so they're supporting this event as well, so you can know about that. Okay, good. So that is it from me. And what I'd like to do is actually bring Rui here before we actually start. Sorry. We actually start on the presentations from the IT generators. Sorry, do you want to talk through your top 10 tips?
Hi, hello. Basically, this is what I'm going to try to present in 10 minutes. My name is Rui.